and we look forward to monitor the market. But that deal is giving clarity to the market, giving the market visibility on next year.
This is Bloomberg Markets. I'm Matt Miller. That was the oil minister from the United Arab Emirates speaking after this weekend's OPEC Plus meeting, where it was announced that the UAE will boost its quota for next year. Saudi Arabia, on the other hand, will make a 1 million barrel a day supply cut in the month of July and possibly going forward. What caught my eye on this is the reaction to all of this in the price of oil, which is to say that we're gaining a little bit, but not by much. This is Brent. It's the global benchmark, right? And we're still just seeing a 77 handle on it here. We just saw NYMEX crude to the 72 handle. And if you look at this chart, you can see that we continue to trend lower and lower post-pandemic. So no matter how much OPEC or the Saudis do in terms of cutting production, it doesn't seem to be convincing traders that they need to buy these barrels. Coming up, we're going to talk about why former Apple marketing executive Michael Gartenberg believes the mixed reality headset that they are expected to release at the Worldwide Developers Conference today could be a huge flop. This is Bloomberg.
Welcome to the Spaces. I'm John Hyland with the First Word News. Poland's agriculture minister says the European Union proposed extending a ban on Ukrainian crop exports to 5 countries until mid-September. Meanwhile, Russia and Ukraine reported widespread fighting along the front lines. Ukraine says its air defense forces downed 4 missiles and 6 drones overnight. No survivors were found in the plane that flew over the nation's capital Sunday before crashing in rural Virginia. The unresponsive business plane triggered a fighter jet scramble and a loud sonic boom heard across the Washington, D.C. area. The New York Times reporting 4 people were aboard the Cessna. They included a 2-year-old girl, her mother, her nanny, and the pilot. The investigation is ongoing. And British Airways told its staff of around 35,000 that their personal information may have been compromised in a cyber attack on the airline's payroll provider. Attackers exploited the same software that resulted in compromises affecting government systems in Nova Scotia. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security, Microsoft, and cybersecurity experts warn the hacking campaign could ensnare thousands of victims in the coming weeks. Global news 24 hours a day on air and on Bloomberg Originals, powered by more than 2,700 journalists and analysts in more than 120 countries. I'm John Hyland, and this is Bloomberg. Welcome to Bloomberg Markets. I'm John Oberman.
And I'm Matt Miller. Let's get a quick check on the markets right now. We are still looking at gains on the S&P 500, up about 0.1%, so coming in quite a bit. 42.87 is the level on the S&P. There's still a little bit of selling going on in treasuries, although not by much. We're adding about 1 basis point, and we currently see the 10-year yield at 370.42. The dollar, little change. The Bloomberg Dollar Index at 1241, and oil. Right now we see NYMEX crude coming up 84 cents to 72.58, which is pretty amazing considering we got a surprise cut of another 1 million barrels a day from the Saudis yesterday at the OPEC Plus meeting. John?
You know, wanted to stay on that for a beat, Matt, because Julia Fanzeris and the Bloomberg team has been speaking to a lot of traders who are going to wait to see how that all plays out. Because to your point, oil's off its best levels of the day, and within the energy complex, basically the S&P energy group is flat to positive. You got a name like Chevron, which is actually negative today. Beyond energy, we're watching Medicis, the at-home health services company, getting that buyout bid from a unit of United Health. And then in technology today, a lot of focus on Palo Alto Networks, the cybersecurity juggernaut, joining the S&P 500. So that name getting a lift today. And obviously, you've been watching the reaction at the Apple event. We're seeing Intel shares right now down about 3.5%. Apple still holding those gains on the day. We're up at $184 plus as we continue to watch the Apple story, Matt.
Yeah, and continue to watch the Apple story. We will. Just a few moments ago, Apple CEO Tim Cook started the company's worldwide developer conference, setting the bar high. Let's listen in.
Today we're going to make some of our biggest announcements ever at WWDC. We'll be talking about the future of our incredible software platforms, as well as introducing some exciting new products.
Let's bring back Bloomberg's Ed Ludlow, who is at the event. Ed, so far, we've just heard a few things, including a bigger MacBook Air and, a Mac Pro that'll cost $7,000 with Apple Silicon. What else do we know, and what else is interesting to you? What are you looking forward to?
Yes, the MacBook Air 15 inches confirms Mark Gurman's reporting that this was coming. $1,299, as you said, is the price point. A real emphasis on Apple's competence in silicon. So you've got the Mac Pro at $6,999, as you said, Matt, but with an M2 Ultra chip, which you referenced, John, earlier at the Open, the performance of Intel to the downside. Interesting to see Intel make a leg lower during the Mac Pro presentation, because what Apple did in its presentation was compare the performance of their latest generation Mac with their own silicon versus prior generations that were powered by Intel. So that was very interesting. One point on AI and machine learning. During the presentation on Mac Pro and M2 Ultra, their latest generation chip, they made the point that this is actually perfect for machine learning, but also training of foundation models, or LLMs, which is something we've been waiting on. We wanted to hear more about AI, but nothing yet, guys, about the headset.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that. John, I wonder what you're looking forward to.
Well, I think this is, one of those things where at the end of the day, it sort of sets a potential roadmap for the path ahead, Ed. I mean, in terms of how they are going to navigate not just this product today, but what seems like, especially through Bloomberg's reporting, a long-term process here of introducing, from a headset to possibly glasses, and maybe at some point, less of an emphasis on the iPhone.
Yeah, look, what we're expecting is a mixed reality headset, right? Mixed being the operative word, augmented and virtual reality. Bloomberg's reported the price point will be around $3,000 US, and throughout the morning we've had analysts on the shows digging in on that. Carolina Milanesi of Crazy Strategies made a very simple point. Build it and they will come. Such is the reputation of Apple's history in developing technology. $3,000 is a lot, but why launch at WWDC